Hello, everyone. In this third module, we're introducing you to industrial design, and this is a field that I think flies under the radar in mainstream culture. Almost everything in our human-built world has been shaped by industrial designers, yet most people know very little about this field. Not only do industrial designers develop mass-produced products, but they also design systems, services, and experiences. These might include consumer appliances, tools, business machines, furniture, medical equipment, architectural products, and transportation devices, to name a few. In the services or systems world, it might include banking systems, it might include health system or health telehealth systems, etc. Product design has such an important impact on our life. And here on my shelf, these are just two items. Both do pretty much the same thing. They're deodorant. So this one is full of plastic, and there's a lot of this packaging, which is part of product design, that is going to be thrown away. This one is a completely biodegradable package. And so just with something as small as this, we can see what a difference industrial design has on our lives. These days, industrial design has converged with scientific research, from biology and genetics to artificial intelligence and robotics, allowing things from, remember the Jetsons, the Jetsons has now come to be. And also from the realm of science fiction, those kinds of things are now taking shape in our lives. As well, practitioners address problems of the other 90% of the world, and they try to solve through the design of services and systems particularly, but also with certain types of products, problems of poverty, hunger, energy, health, and other troubling issues of the disadvantaged world population by they're trying to solve some of these things through design. And they have come to realize responsibility for the planet's climate and limited resources through the handling of environment, industry, and agriculture. Now, with all that said, we live in a world where we all have too much stuff. At least in our culture, we have too much stuff. And one might say that product designers are contributing to all that stuff and all this ownership that we have that really burdens us down. But I think there's a big change in this industry in terms of thinking about how to live lighter and more efficiently and more sustainably. So it's something I would urge you to take a look at. So this week, when we're giving ourselves a closer look at industrial design, we've selected a very broad array of materials, and I think you're going to enjoy them. First, for a very solid introduction to the discipline, we have a short lecture from Arizona State University Professor Emeritus Prasad Boradkar. This is just really clear and straightforward. And then you're going to get a treat from another professor, RISD, or Rhode Island School of Design Professor Matt Bird's fabulous lecture on the history of industrial design. Now, if you like that lecture, go on YouTube, because Professor Bird has put his entire course online, and it is just wonderful. I've taken the whole thing myself just because I was so interested. And if you like the field of industrial design, I think you would enjoy taking this course. It's free, taking it yourselves. Then after that, we're asking you to browse through the Industrial Design Society of America's IDEA Awards to get a sense of the latest in award-winning product design. Now, each year, IDSA and Business Week get together for these IDEA Awards, and there are, this has been going on for quite a while, and you'll see product designs in many different categories in these awards. So you'll be needing to use these for your discussion question as well. Then after that, we're asking you to watch 2 short videos. One is called Cradle to Cradle, and this explains more sustainable methods of production, particularly, and these were founded by William McDonough. And then another on how artificial intelligence is impacting the ways that we design our worlds. So this is a TED Talk, and this talk by Maurice Conti, I think it's a little bit, it was done in 2016. And I think it's a little sexist from my point of view and a little consumerist from my point of view. Nonetheless, there's a lot in there that I think will be useful for you when you're thinking about where we're going with AI. And then finally, we've got a report by Frog Design on current trends and the ways that design is shaping our future. Now, Frog is one of the most important design firms in the world. It started in Germany. It then subsequently moved its headquarters to San Francisco, but there are satellite branches all over the world. And it is one of 2 really global firms that, maybe 3, that have pretty much touched every aspect of our life. So Frog Design is one. IDEO, which is pronounced IDEO, is another one. They have done a lot of Apple products. And then the third is Pentagram, which is a multidisciplinary design firm. Then, so those are the requirements that we have for the week. I think you're going to find all of them pretty interesting. Subsequently, we have a boatload of items in the supplemental materials for the week. Now, a lot of these items could be useful to you when you're responding to the discussion question this week. As usual, these aren't required, but they're also so interesting that no doubt you're going to want to take a look at a few of them. So first up, we have Time's 100 Best Inventions from last year. This is kind of in parallel with the IDSA Business Week design awards for each year. So there are a lot of really interesting inventions in this most latest issue. It's the latest issue of Time's Best Inventions. Then there's an award-winning documentary film on product design called Objectified. This is also by Gary Hustwit, who did the classic documentary film on graphic design on the typeface Helvetica, which was in the supplementary section last week. Then there's an article by yours truly on how the Tylenol murders forever changed packaging design. It's a pretty fascinating story. And the packaging we know today was not the packaging we used to have before the Tylenol murders. So that shows how an event can really change the way design takes place or is produced. Then there's another TED Talk on human bias in AI. Now, we're going to get more into that as the semester proceeds, but this is just a little taste for you, and it's pretty interesting. I think you'll enjoy that one. And then also, if you are interested in Frog, Patrick Kelleher from Frog did a podcast on why designers are so interested in predicting the future, and it's not just for sales purposes. Then also, there's a PowerPoint in there that I used to assign to students in this class on industrial design. I think it's a little bit dated, which is why it's in the supplemental section, but there's still some really good stuff in there. So if you want to take a peek, that it's a very short look. And then finally, if you want one of the classic chapters on industrial design history, you are given one here from John Heskett's well-known book. Then Moving into required activities, of course, we have the quiz and the discussion question. And we have a lot of stuff in the fun or interesting category this week. Lots of fun things, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly of design, things that don't work, all those kinds of interesting sorts of things. And then finally, a couple final notes. I find it really odd that there is no SUNY school that has a full-blown industrial design or product design program. Now, FIT has subsets. They have programs like toy design, and Buff State has a brand new track in their art program, but it's not, you know, a really full industrial design program. I think that's interesting, given how many schools there are in the SUNY system, and given how big New York State is, and given what a big manufacturing state New York State is. So I just, you know, I wonder why that is the case. It really has flown under the radar in our worlds here. And then also, if you want to know more about the industrial design or product design discipline, or you need recommendations for good industrial design university programs, I'm very happy to have a Zoom conversation with you. Finally, I hope you all have a great week. It's supposed to be sunny, which is always good. So go out there, breathe in the air, get some good vitamin D. And on this Valentine's week, here is a big virtual hug to all of you. Take care. Bye-bye.